Hey, what's up everyone? Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So this video is going to be about some really big entertainment news that came down late Sunday. It has to do with the Walt Disney Company. And like I said, it's major news. It's news that sent shockwaves through the internet, through the industry. It took a lot of people by surprise. So the news that came down Sunday is that former Disney CEO Bob Iger is returning to the company as CEO. And Bob Chapek, the guy that replaced him, is out at the company. Yep, it's true, 100%. Not making this up. It's real. I even had to do a double take when I saw the news trickling down. And yeah, like I said, it took a lot of people by surprise. So Disney released some statements, a full news release about this. So I'm going to read a little bit from that. And then I'm going to share some of my thoughts about all of this, all this stuff that just came down. Now, before I jump into the discussion, really quickly, if you could do me a favor, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, hit that notification button so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Really quickly from the release, it says, the Walt Disney Company announced today that Robert A. Iger is returning to lead Disney as Chief Executive Officer effective immediately. Iger, who spent more than 4 decades at the company, including 15 years as its CEO, has agreed to serve as Disney's CEO for 2 years with a mandate from the board to set the strategic direction for renewed growth and to work closely with the board in developing a successor to lead the company at the completion of his term. Iger succeeds Bob Chapek, who has stepped down from his position. And then Susan Arnold, who is chairman of the board, had this statement in the release, said, "We thank Bob Chapek for his service to Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. The board has concluded that as Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry transformation, Bob Iger is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period." So Iger's in, Chapek's out. And what's, I think, really interesting about all of this is, just how quickly all of this came out. Because, this was all dropped late last night, late Sunday. And from the chatter I've seen online, various articles I've read from outlets that have had sources close to all of this share some information about the happenings at the Walt Disney Company. It seems that a decision was made very quickly, and so because of that, all of this had to be released, I guess, to avoid things getting leaked and all that stuff. So people might say, why did they release this on a Sunday? That's likely why. In terms of Iger coming back, like I said, this was very shocking. I think for a lot of people, the idea of Iger coming back seems sort of, out of the realm of possibility in terms of, he had been with the company for a very long time, been CEO for a very long time. And when he stepped down to leave, he made it seem so final, right? Like, I'm done, I'm out, this is it, it's over. But he's coming back, at a time where the company is dealing with a lot of things. Now, Bob Chapek, whether you like him or dislike him, he did come in as CEO at a time that I think would have been difficult for any person to navigate, to handle, let alone someone new to the CEO position. And so, yeah, Chapek had a lot of challenges that he was facing. He also had a lot of missteps. I think a lot of people can point to very specific things during Chapek's stint as CEO as things that didn't do the Walt Disney Company any favors, in terms of either putting them in a favorable light or benefit the company in any great way. One of them was the lawsuit that came out of the whole Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson thing, in terms of pay, and that made a lot of headlines. There had also been the clash that Bob Chapek had with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over the parental rights in education bill. It was also dubbed as the Don't Say Gay bill by critics, and the handling of that, I think, just put it put Disney in the spotlight, where, you know, Bob Chapek initially did not want to make any sort of comment or statement or take a position on that controversial bill. And within the company, there were a number of cast members and executives who felt that he should have taken a position. There were people in the public, fans, Disney fans, who felt that the company should have taken a position on that and been vocal about it. And then after sort of that backlash, you know, Chapek came out and said, yeah, we you know, disavow this bill, this legislation, and, you know, we're against this, and we're going to do what we can to see that it's, you know, repealed and all this kind of stuff. And then by that time, though, a lot of cast members, Disney employees, a lot of fans felt that that was too little, too late. And then also, most recently, you had Disney release its fourth quarter earnings, and revenue missed Wall Street expectations, and also the direct-to-consumer business had a $1.5 billion loss. The parks did okay in terms of revenue. I mean, the parks generated like $7.4 billion, I think it was. But just overall for the company, it missed the mark. So the stock has been down. It has been down for a while in terms of, you know, where it usually would be. So, yeah, it's interesting that, you know, Iger returned, like basically came out of retirement to do this. Now, again, him coming back to the company is a temporary one. It's just for 2 years, and he has like two main goals that he is set to achieve while he's back at Disney. One, as you know, as I said in the as I read from the release, one is to have a strategic direction for renewed growth. And so I'm assuming that's with, you know, revenue and, you know, streaming and all the other areas that sort of took a hit. It's coming up with a plan to get the company back to where it needs to be. And then the second goal, mandate for his stint coming back as CEO is to develop a successor, work with the board to develop a successor to lead the company once he leaves, which had always been one of those things that was happening at Disney. Even when Iger was CEO, there had been a succession plan in place at one point, but then the people who I guess had been sort of set to, you know, who were being groomed and prepared to take over as CEO eventually left the company. And Iger had been, you know, set to retire numerous times, and, you know, kept renewing. And I think part of that was because in the last part of Iger's stint as CEO, the first time, he was navigating all these different things within the company that it would not have made sense to leave the company then and hand over the reins to someone new, even if they had been with the company for a while, to hand over those reins to someone new to the CEO position when dealing with that. One of them was the launch of, one of them was the acquisition of the Fox assets, the entertainment assets, right? Like 21st Century and 20th Century. So, you know, that was a major acquisition, billions and billions of dollars at stake there. And Iger wanted to see it through, so he, you know, renewed his contract. And then, of course, the launch of Disney Plus, which became a priority for the company. You know, Iger stuck around to see that through as well. You know, so this is a major shakeup at a major company, and it opens the doors for so many questions. You know, one of them is, you know, with Iger being back, and again, he has been in this position, this role before, so he knows the company very, very well. He understands the company very, very well. You know, there might be people who don't like Iger or like his policies and things like that, but this is someone who is very familiar with the company, right? So I imagine that's why he was brought back, because he understands the company. He knows it in and out, right? It's not like you have to bring someone new in and kind of show them how all this works and have them learn all these different aspects of this major company, this major corporation. This is someone who understands it, who knows it very well. So my thing is, with Iger being back, what immediate changes, if any, are going to happen now that he's back as CEO? Because, he's back as CEO for 2 years. 2 years isn't a long time, but also 2 years is a long time. Like 2 years isn't a long time to make a ton of changes, but it's a long enough time that a lot can happen within 2 years, if that makes sense. So, will there be any changes? Will there be changes to Disney Plus? Disney Plus has been a priority for the company. It has not, it has been taking some hits lately. And I know there's concern, not just within the company, but outside of it, right? Investors and everybody looking at, streaming. That's, everybody's looking at streaming. What's happening with your streaming services? So any company that has a streaming service is just like under the microscope right now. So, is Iger going to make any changes to Disney Plus? Disney Plus was set to roll out some ad tier and some different pricing in the coming months. So is that going to still happen? Is that going to be, I don't know. What's going to happen with that? What is Disney going to do about Hulu? Because they own majority of it, but they don't own it all outright. So are they going to try to buy Hulu, the remaining percentage of Hulu, so that they have that streaming service and then maybe integrate that into Disney Plus? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. In terms of changes, will anything happen within the studios? Will anything happen with the parks? As someone who has visited the theme parks quite a bit, who visits theme parks often, theme parks are always big on my mind. And, there's been a lot of people who have been unhappy with how the parks have been lately with just, Genie Plus and reservation systems, pass reservation systems, and park hopping rules and things like that, where people feel like the growing sentiment online is that, taking a Disney vacation is just far more complicated than it used to be. Also with, Iger returning, there's a question of, will he bring anybody back to the company, people who have left? In the last few years, there have been a number of executives who have left Disney, a number of Imagineers who left Disney. So will any of those people return for any reason? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But all of this is just, like I said, it was just a major shock, I think, for a lot of people. This news came down, and I had to do a double take. Like, is this real? Is this not real? Is this fake? Is this a prank? Like, I don't know, but it's actually real. So, a major shakeup like this for a company of this size, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next few days and even weeks. I don't think we're done with this. Obviously, this is a major story right now, but I honestly don't think this is the last time we'll be talking about this. Disney is a major corporation. It's huge. It's a major media company. It has, businesses. It has its hands in all kinds of different businesses, right? It has, movie studios, animation studios, television studios. It has, ESPN. It has parks, theme parks, hotels, resorts, Disney Plus, so streaming services. So there's technology involved with that. It's just, this company is so massive. And so the ripple effects of this, what's going to happen with Disney? Obviously, people in Hollywood are, taking a close look. Obviously, people on Wall Street are taking a close look at all of this. And like I said, we're just going to have to wait to see what is going to happen now that Bob Iger is back as CEO. So those are my thoughts on the big Disney shakeup, Bob Iger returning to Disney as CEO and Bob Chapek exiting the company. Definitely want to know what all of you think about all of this. So please jump into the comment section and share your thoughts about all of this, about Disney, about Bob Iger, about Bob Chapek, about Iger coming back, about Chapek leaving. I really want to know what everyone thinks. So jump in those comments and share your thoughts. Oh, and while you're here, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.